Three, two, one.
All right, welcome to Fire Optics special broadcast. There's some stuff going on. The NBA has decided for tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks have decided, along with all the other teams on the slate tonight, to postpone for now. And before we dig all into it, let's go ahead and introduce everybody. My name's Kensei. To my left, we got here man James.
What's going on, fam?
Down below, we got Frico Suave.
Hey.
No, that's not good enough. You're supposed to do the
Hola.
Yeah, hola. There you go, hola. And we got a special guest in the building. This is a world-renowned traveler. They call him the president in my part of the state. He's got a lot of aliases. Diddy, president, all. We got my homeboy Ross. What's up, Ross?
Diddy.
What's up?
So,
What's going on, fam?
not much, man. So let's hop right into it now. I'll go and get started with what I've heard of how this whole thing really came to a head. So what I heard was it was actually George Hill, of all people. Okay, Mark Spears from ESPN said he talked to George Hill, and George Hill was the one who was very emotional immediately after what happened to Jacob Blake. And this evening, he was the one in the locker room going hard, like, hey, man, F this. We can't do this. And, of course, your boy, who's the white dude, the shooter? Kyle Korver? Is that him?
Yeah.
All right, and he did some work too. I heard he was in the locker room giving a crazy speech, like, man, forget this. So that led to a meeting of the minds amongst the team. This was a very organic thing, which I typically think is the best kind of thing, because I also heard Marvin Williams didn't even know, like 4 hours before the game or 2 hours before the game, that they planned on doing this, because Mark Spears had talked to him or Chris Haynes, somebody. And he was like, nah, we haven't, nah. And Marvin's a straight up dude. That's an honest dude. So he's going to tell the truth. So anyway, here we are. As of right now, as I stated, the Milwaukee Magic game has been postponed, along with OKC and Houston, along with Portland and LA, along with the whole WNBA, along with the Reds against the Brewers.
The whole baseball.
Oh, really?
I'm catching right now. It's coming in as we speak.
Okay, so we're fluid. It's happening.
They're having a meeting now, right? Yeah.
They're having the NBA.
Yeah, supposed to be having a meeting now about the future or how many days the boycott is going to be or whatever.
Yeah, Toronto and the Celtics said if it's a game one for them, they're not playing.
Yeah, and see, there's so much background to this thing before we really deep dive. You had heard before, guys, right, that Toronto had already been talking about possibly boycotting after what happened anyway. They got a lot of riders on that team, whatever, led by Fred VanVleet. Turns out his pops got killed when he was 5 years old.
What?
Yeah, Fred VanVleet. I didn't know that either.
Wow.
So when he saw that video, that like, and he's got a young seed now. If y'all remember last year in the playoffs, I think he was having his firstborn child, and he was struggling in the playoffs. And then once his son came, or his child came, bam, he started lighting it up. So I mean, it's gonna touch you different, man. When 3 out of 4 of us are fathers, and I've never really lost someone super close to me, but I've had friends who lost their father before, stuff like that. So I can't imagine. It's a different kind of vibe is basically what I'm getting at. So let me stop running my mouth. I was just trying to lay down the groundwork of where we're at right now. We'll let James, you want to let the guest speak first so we can tear them up?
Yes, let's go, brothers.
All right, Ross Ditch, what do you think about all this, man?
I mean, it's crazy, all this stuff going on. I mean, it's been happening for years.
Centuries.
Centuries.
400 of them. 400 years.
It's not going to change whoever's in office. I hate to say it because Obama was in office. the same stuff, man. Police reform, they're trying to do the chokehold bans and everything else with the punishing the policemen and everything. So I don't know. It's gonna gradually. It's not gonna eliminate everything, though. Everybody knows that.
Let me make this pass around of this topic a little bit more concise for the sake of the conversation. For everybody, did he go again? What do you think, as of right now, here and now, the players should demand across all these leagues and all these platforms? Okay, you got the attention. You shook up the world, like for real. What should they ask for right now?
Man, you can't do much, man. Police reform. You got to change the culture. You got to change the sheriff. You got to change the people in charge of every city. You got to change it. I don't know if it means suspension or fines, all that stuff. So they're changing the amount of guns. Police reform includes the chokeholds, amount of guns,
Yep.
the incentives that policemen get for like whatever they're doing, whatever they do on regular basis. So
the
changing
fact that you mean
incentives.
You mean like the
all
fact
that
they
stuff.
get a pass and they get immunity a lot of times when these things happen?
Immunity, more accountability, like like going to court more often when stuff
You mean
happens.
quotas too? You're talking about quotas. The quotas are.
Yes. And I'm
quotas. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, brothers, but James started shaking his head. I don't think he thinks that's going to work. What's the matter, James? How come you started shaking? The brother had some good, formal democratic ideas. What's the problem, James?
No. It's the problem isn't his ideas. Brothers is making some good points. I'll even add to that. I think I listened to Stephen A. Smith today say, these guys need to have insurance like doctors got, right? So when they walk out of the house, they got to make their conscious decision. Money versus family, right? But here's the thing, right? None of that's going to change the decision at the moment, right? Where that cop has his gun drawn, right? And to me, I was talking to Frico earlier, I've been to combat, right? I've been to war multiple times, right? And we have a rule of engagement, right? Where we have to fire a warning shot before we do anything.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Right? Yeah, we have to fire a warning shot. If we think something's about to go down, we can't just shoot.
So repeat that again for the audience, because that's crazy. So you're in an actual war.
Actual war, right? We have rules of engagement, right? And if we think something's about to go down or we see something that is threatening, right? Or posture that's threatening, we have to let off a warning shot, letting them know that, hey, we understand what you're thinking about doing, right? And now, of course,
if the rule is followed, dudes actually follow that rule.
You have no choice. You are in serious trouble if you shoot somebody just because you thought something's going to happen.
Okay.
We're trained to react to a situation. You know what I'm saying? So now if you shoot at me, it's all game's on. We're gonna lay down fire. But if we look at something and say, hey, I don't know what you're thinking about doing, but don't do it. If you don't listen to our verbal command, we get a warning shot. Hey, we about to let this lead hit you. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how you follow a man around a car with your gun pointed. 3-4 of you can't take down one man, right? But you don't even have the sense of you to let a warning shot off, right? Most people I know are going to pay attention to a warning shot.
Yep.
Or at least it's going to make them like, yo, okay, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But even that, you could have tased him. You could have hit him with a baton. It's for you against one guy.
It's de-escalation tactics.
Yeah.
De-escalation.
De-escalation.
Using a gun is the last resort.
It is.
Very last resort.
And it should always be that way. Before, like you said before, these guys understand the rules of the streets very well. Cops, I'm saying. You pull your gun, you plan to use it. And what I have I don't have a problem with what Diddy said is the thing is that all of that Diddy said and everybody's been saying all these years is not working because we don't have a defense as black men when we get pulled over by a cop. We don't got no defense against that cop. You see what I'm saying? So if I get pulled over, my only defense to protect myself if this is a crooked cop is to pray. I mean, that's the essence of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I watched Doc Rivers' video, it touched me because I look at my son, right? And just because I told him, I said, hey, son, you know, your job is to take the recycling out every night, but just take your recycling out and come back in, okay? Because we don't know the neighborhood that well. And we're in a white neighborhood. We're in an upscale white neighborhood, right?
Worry about it, man.
You know what I'm saying? And so now he doesn't even go outside without me. And I didn't mean for that to be the result of it, but I just didn't want him to be like playing around outside and somebody like, who's this little black kid playing around outside? You know what I'm saying? So now I go out with him every time he goes to recycling because he's just now afraid. But that's just the reality. Now listen to what Vince Carter said today. He takes his cell phone and ID with him just to check his mail.
Jeez.
Because he lives in the area, man. When I heard that from Vince Carter, man, I'm just like, yo, this is Vince Carter. You know what I'm saying? How does this brother have to go through that? You know what I mean? Who don't know who you are?
Let's go back for 1 second before we go to Frico. One quick point. Maybe he didn't give the warning shot, and maybe he followed around the car. Maybe he didn't follow protocol to all these things, de-escalation, like Diddy said, all these things, because maybe his intent was to have the opportunity to shoot a black man in the first place. And I think sometimes we get caught up in this "we are the world" kumbaya mantra, and we forget about the history of what's happened in this country, not by individual people, but by a whole group of people. I mean, you've been playing your cards a long time. And it's not far-fetched to me to believe that, hey, he was like, oh, I got my chance. Because that's what it seemed like. The dude didn't pose a threat. The dude didn't turn around and act crazy. What do you think, Frico? And for those of you that don't know, I think it is important to articulate this beforehand. Ross is Pakistani, I'm black, and James is black. And you didn't catch that joke, brothers? You're not going to cut me off?
I just taught her down. Crazy.
If y'all saw Ross and didn't know, you'd be like, is he Packy? No, but honestly, Ross is black. I'm black. As you can see, James black. Our homeboy Frico down. Turn on the light. Our homeboy Frico down here is of another culture. We're not trying to call him out. So just know he's not black. That's perspectives that we're coming from. So what's your perspective on this? Oh, go ahead, James. Finish up. My bad.
Frico, let me interrupt you. You got after this. Hey, just in, since this is very organic, Kenny Smith just walked off of the TNT set.
And we saw that happened earlier, actually.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know. So it is who didn't know.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
So, all right, Frico, what you got?
I don't know. There's not much I can add in terms of, yeah, this is fucked up, and I can't believe it's happening even after all this stuff this summer.
No, but here's what you
wanted to,
Frico. From an outside perspective, how do you think the players should handle the situation?
I was about to tell you that you interrupted me.
Oh, my bad, Frico. All right, my bad.
You know, Frico?
Okay, let me start first of all, before we get to the how. I just want to say that there's a direct correlation between the words that are coming out of people's mouths at the RNC and for years, and what is happening now with this fucking guy walking on the street with a gun. And
you got to explain that, because we didn't talk to the audience about that. So you're talking about after the fact. I don't know how old the kid was. He looked like he was fresh out of middle school with the same gun that I bought like a few weeks ago legally, not unlike this fool, goes into the crowd, Bucks 3 people.
Yeah.
I don't know if any got killed. Go ahead, Frico.
No, one of them's dead, I think, but
No, two died.
yeah,
2 died. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
that's a gunfight, man, in the middle of the street. So
And then he just walks up to the cops with the AR
yeah,
around him, and people are yelling at the cops. Yeah, he did it. He did it. And I heard there's some audio of them thanking him and offering him water, not after the fact, but around. It's very confusing right now. I've also heard he hasn't been arrested yet. Is
I wouldn't doubt any of that, but I want to make a point that the words that come out of powerful people's mouths matters in terms of life and death. And we have to respect that and understand what we're dealing with. And everyone's got the fucking vote.
I got to cut you off one more time, Frico, because you just mentioned
No, I'm
something.
done. That was all I wanted to say.
Check this out. How come on my Twitter, I just went through about 20 minutes ago, there's a picture of that kid that with the AR-15 that just shot with people. There's a picture of him from 3 years ago at a Trump rally, sitting about front row.
Exactly. I mean, like it's like it's a virus, man. It's a Trump virus. And it
I
affects everyone.
see.
No, I'm saying, like, listen, I know what you're gonna say, but I'm saying that he is the catalyst for moving it more forward. You know what I mean? Like, that's already, I get it, it's already been there. But he's like just he's putting it on like a nitro engine.
Well, before we get to the political arena, I think that's
He's a white supremacist too, or something like that. He was a part of some group or something.
okay.
Online.
Yeah.
I don't know which one though.
But he's with one of those groups.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Before we get on to the political side of this, because I think that's a very valid point, Frico. The political side and the ideology and this and that. When the black man was president, that's when it really started kicking off. That's first and foremost. The other dude that's running for president is responsible for incarcerating God knows how many black people over the years with his policies. So I just want to make sure that I articulate from my viewpoint that I'm gonna tell you straight up, as me, I'm not gonna say as a black man, because it's different kind of, unlike what Biden said, we have different perspectives and different influences and all that kind of stuff. But as me, black man Kenneth Nicholson, I don't see this as a Trump problem per se. I see it as an American problem, because when we say it's on Trump, it's a cop-out because of dudes like Biden and other Democrats who sell out, who don't, because a lot of these places are Democratic cities, and with Democratic attorney generals and governors and mayors and all this stuff, and they don't have the balls to do anything about it either. So, but back to the original point, as far as what the players should do now, we spoke on this. It didn't make the airwaves, but I have been consistent from the jump. When you have leverage, you use it. And I don't give a damn what anybody says in the media about the NBA ratings are down. First of all, that's BS, because they don't count streaming. And if you have a smart TV, more than likely you cut the cord with cable. So people are watching these games no matter what they want to say. I know my friends and I in the group chat and dudes I'm just running into, we're talking about basketball. So F all of that. People are watching. It's the only thing on. Football ain't going to happen. I don't care what y'all say. You can't be around people, not have a bubble, do all this sweat and be around college kids. And football players are just built different. They're more wired to wow out just on instinct, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So point being, use this leverage. And Stephen A. Smith made very good points. He was like, now's the time where you're all in a collective. You can take this and push your state representatives to push down to the local representatives to handle this mess. And that's what think needs to be done. And I think they're doing that because in the locker room, the Bucks were talking to the Wisconsin attorney general and somebody from the local level. Like they were like, we need to talk to them. So I think they're taking heed to what's going on. I think the only problem is it's just a very fluid situation and dudes are still super. Good night, baby. Go ahead, babe. I love it.
Are you going to?
Man, if you don't get the heck out of here. Yes, I'm going to. No, I'm not. Girl, get out of here. I love you.
Bye.
You all right? I love you.
No,
She's gonna be taking care of my black butt when I get old one day. So it is what it is.
she's super tall, man.
Huh?
She's so tall.
Yo, she's as tall as her mama already. Funny. Her mama gonna be cussing her out like this. Anyway, point being, I think they have the leverage now, and I think they have the media and everybody's like on their toes. Like it's a lot easier to knock a bully out when they're not standing ready for you, like flat-footed, like, and they can take the blow. The whole world is on its toes right now with this whole movement. Now is the time to strike. You already got them wobbly. Knock them the fuck out.
Yeah.
The thing is, and Stephen A. made a good point today. You know, he says, you know, we keep having this conversation. We keep coming to the table, and he says, we're hip to your game. All you do is speak rhetoric. You know, you're not going to change anything. You know, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that it's going to get worse because they don't want to change. You know, and like I said in the beginning, like the first podcast we had, you know, and they didn't get aired. You know, we got great people, white, black, you know, who just want to have a peaceful country. Everybody's fair, you know what I'm saying? But COVID and everything being still is showing the world how corrupted America is, how racist America is, and how much racism is ingrained in white America, right? And the problem is, I think it's a lot bigger than people realize, you know? Just like this kid that came out of nowhere that shot all these people in this protest, right? And the cops did nothing to him. Just let him walk by. They say he ran to the cops for protection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You knew the deal.
Yeah, I said, in what country can you kill somebody because of the color of their skin, because you don't agree with them, because you're white supremacist, and run to the cops and get protected? Just like I said before, we don't have that protection. So to me, I'm asking the NBA players is find out what protection looks like for African Americans in this country. How can we protect ourselves against cops? You know what I'm saying? And it's because you are at the mercy of that person with that gun at that moment when you get pulled over, or you know, it's even at the point where, man, something happens. I got my own self-defense in my house. I'm not calling the cops. You know what I'm saying? Because they come to my house and it's my house and I'm the one with a gun in my hand defending my house. They're not going to believe this is my house over that other guy. Or that white guy says, oh, no, this is my house. Man, he's trying to kill me. I'm dead before any explanation is made. You know, so we have to find out what protection looks like. Or at worst, we have to separate ourselves from the white infrastructure so we can heal and find out how we can coexist, because right now it doesn't seem like we can do it.
I'll let somebody else talk before I speak on what you just said.
Also, when Obama was president, there was so much backlash. That was also what drove like all the cop killings. Also, there was so much backlash. People hated Obama, this and that, mainly because of the race aspect. So it wasn't just what Obama was doing. It's just what they don't like about it.
Yep.
That's how we got to this situation with Trump and stuff. So yes, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
the rubber band like flicked back in the opposite direction.
Yeah, opposite, exact opposite direction.
It's like the guy said on CNN when Trump won. You know, he said we got a whitewashing. He came out and said,
Yep.
So here's what I was going to say about what you said, James. The only thing I don't agree with is not that I don't agree, but I get very frustrated with Black people when they think that we can simply isolate ourselves, do our own thing. I've mentioned this before. Since we've been in this country, as it's been called America, it's been a very parasitic relationship between Black people and this country. They literally leech off of our labor, hard work, this and that, that built this country, then put you in a situation where they're parasitic as far as we're gonna put you in projects and put you in disadvantageous situations so that you end up in the system. That's where the real parasites are, from the lawyers to the judges, all the way up. And so when I hear because we try to separate ourselves, and what do? We did it in Tulsa, did it in Wilmington, did it in numerous places. And you know where I'm getting at. What do? They come in, blow it up, shoot it up, blah, blah, blah. At some point in time, I'm not an advocate of violence by any means, because it's not my thing. But it comes to a point where this is not me. This is just me articulating what is really going to come down to pretty soon. And maybe this is the plan by some people. I've mentioned before about a possible civil war because of what Ross is talking about. There's the president stoking the flames, and we feel as Black people like we're pinned in the corner. No one's looking out for us. And if we keep on seeing ourselves get bucked on TV for little reasons and this and that, and people like me that never shot a gun before in their life go out within 1 month and get a 9mm and an AR-15 because I'm feeling a little like, they act a little funny out here. It's coming to a head. And I don't want it to be that way. I got kids, man. I got a kindergartner and a 5th grader with beautiful, bright futures ahead of them. And they're not necessarily, they're mixed. It doesn't vibe or correlate with them like that at this point in time, because they honestly don't look Black when you first see them. And so all I'm trying to say is this. Yeah, I think the plan is to push us into a corner until we have to retaliate and give them a reason to try to start where they really want to start. So I honestly don't see any way around it. I don't know if it's their plan or if it's just the way things are happening. But I do have faith, though, that what they think is going to happen is going to turn itself over on its head, because eventually you reap what you sow. All right. And I don't think they understand. Like, if you put your average, you've seen these, and I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but you've seen these recent IG videos of random white people calling Black people the N-word and getting knocked out and all that kind of stuff. Yo, if it's a fair one and you ain't got that gun, so okay, but now you scared all of us into getting guns. You think it's gonna go one way, and because you believe in yourself and you believe all these guns are gonna protect you and all this and that, but I don't know.
That's a nightmare scenario, man.
It is a night, but yo, it is a nightmare.
Nightmare.
Go ahead, go ahead. I've been talking too long anyway. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm just saying what you're saying is based on what happened in Kenosha. It seemed like it was kind of forbearing, and it's scary, man. And I agree with you. I don't want it to happen, but to me, I mean, that's the worst possible outcome, like a civil war in the streets. I mean, like, and we saw like a little video of it yesterday. Not cool. So I don't know what to really.
So okay, so here's my problem, Frico. It's not my problem, but here's the way I'm looking at it. Because you're not dealing with, it's like a relationship, all right? If I was in a relationship, let's say all of Black society is one partner in a relationship, and America is the other partner, all right?
Yeah.
It's like J-Lo in Enough. You come home, you beat me up, blah, blah, blah. You attack me, you do this, you say you're sorry, but you do it again, and all this, and you front for other people like you're great, but you're really not. Inside the home, you're terrorizing me. That's what it's like. And eventually, I got to go get training, and I got to go get myself ready, and I'm going to catch you off guard. I'm going to light your butt up. And so I think a lot of, and we tried love, man. The 60s was volatile, but after that in the 70s, love, 80s, crack academic, all this stuff. The point is we tried love. We tried olive branches and all that stuff. And you can't do that with everybody. You can't do that with certain bullies. You can't, I mean, that's what it is. Sometimes you gotta be like, yo, man, enough is enough. And you step on the bully's foot when you're walking up to him so he don't have momentum, and you fight dirty just like he does. Yeah. And I'm afraid of that. I don't want that to happen, man. But I don't see. I mean, James, you're in the military, man. Maybe you can have some better insight on this. I really don't see a way out of things going really bad because they keep doing this mess.
You know, the problem relies in that, you know, they don't. White America doesn't. You know, for the most part, there are some people who will. I'm not going to include everybody, make it all inclusive. But you don't have people who are condemning the guy shooting people in the street, right? But you'll get comments about, oh, he was a criminal. Why are y'all making a big fuss about him being a criminal? Because Dylan Roof was a criminal, and he went to Burger King after he shot 9 Black people. The lady who made a comment about her adopted son, right? Oh, well, you know, he's half Black, so, you know, they should target him, you know, because, you know, he's an adopted stepchild. So the cops are right to target him because he's more likely to commit a crime, right? You know, you hear this rhetoric over and over and over again, and it still doesn't resonate with white America. Like, this is how you think. This is you. You look at us and say, oh, you're more likely to commit a crime. Well, no, let's state the facts. White men are dangerous. They're more likely to commit mass murder than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they labeled the white supremacist terrorist group now, just a few months ago. They're more terrorist groups than any kind of Middle Eastern group in America right now.
They are. So let's for one, let's change the rhetoric of who's who. We're not the aggressors. We're not the criminals. We're not the bad ones. White men, you are. You are the ones who are more likely to rape, mass murder,
pedophilia.
You see what I'm saying? You're the animal.
Mass murder, yeah, definitely mass murder.
Yeah, you're more likely to be the ones who are going to bomb something. You're the ones who are the dangerous to America. Let's just label it as it is. It's not us. For the most part, Black people are peaceful. Like Ken said, we try the love thing, right? It's got to be to the point where, you know, you got to stop making the excuse, oh, because he was a criminal. The dude didn't commit a crime. He was breaking up a fight. Oh, because he had a criminal past, he deserves 7 shots in the back. That's
or even if he is a criminal, and even if there are criminals, there's doing things based out of your circumstance, and you don't feel like you have a way out. And then there's doing things where you have free will and you have the right and freedom to do whatever you want, and you choose to do this evil thing. To me, especially as an educator, I'm always checking for that. I'm always checking for, okay, I got love for all these kids in this class. I need to see who's making the decisions based off of what they feel like internally they are able to do, and who's making decisions based off of what they feel like the world is telling them to do. And oftentimes it's the young Black kids who, or especially young Black males, who feel like they have to do something specific based on what the world expects of them and the circumstances they've been put in, where these other kids just feel like they have the freedom to be who they are. It's a dynamic that's it stems from I'm a second grade teacher. It stems from that all the way throughout adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I might add that supposedly there were like 200 National Guards that were called up
Ooh.
in Wisconsin, Kenosha.
Give us an update.
What happened when
I said, give us an update. He said, what happened?
No, I'm saying, like, what happened when the 17-year-old started shooting people on the street? They're supposed to take action. You know, they were all
No, they're
around.
not. They did what? See, here's my problem. Let's stop talking like this.
And they had guns, but Jacob didn't have a gun, and they didn't take action on the guy who had a gun.
And are
That's
you
crazy.
surprised? Now here's my problem with Black people.
Exactly right.
Were you surprised?
No.
No, I'm not surprised.
Okay, then.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just making that.
Oh, you're just making
a
the
general list. Yeah.
correlation.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought you were acting like
200 National Guards were there yesterday. Nothing happened to that guy. They didn't shoot him. He had a gun. Jacob didn't have a gun.
You know why? Because they're hoping one of us is going to come out there with a gun and do something stupid so they can get all of us. That's their hope. Not all of us like around the country yet, but in that particular town, they're just hoping some young brother or Black whoever does something dumb with a gun out there so they can have the validity to buck a whole bunch of people down and beat up a whole bunch of people. That's what they want.
I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to change. I don't want to admit it, but I think you're right. I think I think the train's about to collide. I think we're on a course where it's just too much tension and it's going to pop. Unfortunately,
Nightmare, man. It's nightmare scenario.
It is a nightmare scenario.
it is, and we,
Black people have been living a nightmare in America for a long time. Not everybody, but
This will be a nightmare, a worse nightmare for everyone.
I talked to my mom about this, man, and my mom is very, very like, keep the peace type person, right? Unless you get her mad or something, right?
She's right.
But can't know my mom.
yep.
She just slapped you, James.
And she ain't nobody to play with.
But she made a good point. She said she never would have thought, after the civil rights movement, after watching, Muhammad Ali and Jesse Owens and King and all these African Americans, great African Americans that had fought for so many years, that we'll be right back here. And what really put fear in me and put me on alert was she says, this seems worse than back then.
She went through it.
She went through it, right? For somebody who picked cotton, for somebody who, a teacher taught herself how to read, became, the head nurse at Duke University Hospital. She's seen racism in a different level, right? But she said, The difference between then was I knew that it was racism. It was a known thing. She said, "You kids are living with something where you don't know.
Mm.
It is hidden amongst you, and is ready to strike you at any moment." And she says, "You have to be very, very careful of what you say, what you do, and how you move, and that is just alarming."
Put a pin in that. So
Yes, you do have to be careful about what you say.
Before you get into it, brothers, I want to just mention that's the conundrum with a lot of black people who are voting now. A lot of black people who I hear say, I'm voting for Biden. I don't like Biden. I despise that man. But Trump seems like a dummy. But a lot of black people are thinking in their head, hey, man, at least we know where we stand with the racist. He's an open racist. And to what James' mother had warned him about, like the Democrats seem to me to be the undercover racists because your policies speak to what you really do. Now, my bad, brother, speak on it.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah. You gotta watch out at work too, like what you say, what you do amongst people. I hate to say it, in big companies, there's more of that racism stuff, and they don't include. It's not much inclusion in big companies, especially at Duke. I hate to say this, Duke is not. It's the same for everything, though. All the big companies is gotta watch what you say. There are a lot of hidden people, like James was saying. They don't say it, but they know. There's a lot of Karens. There's a lot of Karens.
I like the way you said it,
You
Ross.
could tell.
Say it with
You could
your
just
chest
tell.
again. I like that. I like that.
You just know it, and what they say, and they beat around the bush.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
Pause for 1 second, Ross. The Dodgers and the Giants will not play, and Naomi Osaka, the half black, half Haitian black Japanese tennis player that my daughter loves, because if you didn't know, my kids are
Her, the woman.
she's not playing in the semifinals of her tournament tomorrow.
Oh wow, yeah, I know that tennis.
It's not the U.S. Open. It's the Parkwood Open. It looks like, I don't know what it is. The Southern Open.
Parkwood.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Didn't she make the final? No, didn't she win a championship one time?
Yeah, she beat Serena in the finals of the U.S. Open.
That's right, she beat Serena. Yeah.
Very talented lady.
Very talented. Days YB and Corday. Shout out to him. It's his birthday today. That's a very talented young rapper. But continue, Diddy. My bad. I was just updating us on.
No, I'm just saying you got to be careful. That's just like big companies. It's not. It's the culture isn't all the way there. That's just what I say.
Yeah. Okay.
Ken,
Go ahead,
before you start, I gotta run real quick to take some people's money on the poker table. But before I go, I mean, I can't argue with what you and James are saying and what brothers are saying. So what I'm going to say is this: everyone, pray for everyone on the coast tonight. I hope everyone's good. It looks like a scary storm. See what happens. And pray for me.
Oh yeah. Supposed to be the biggest one in a long time or something.
What, Laura? Laura's that big for real?
Yeah, it's category 4, and the surge of the storm is like, it's like crazy too.
Moving fast too.
All right, guys, I gotta run.
All right, peace, Rico.
Taking, man. I know how you gamble.
Exactly. you know, for real. So here, Diddy. Here's what I was gonna say. I think that beyond the Civil War thing I was talking about before, that could possibly happen, not based on what I want to happen, but based on what I feel the way we're going. The only thing that may stem that tide is if we hit them hard in the pockets. And that can happen.
Boycott. Boycott.
Because even though you're not getting fans in there and all that kind of TV money is real. And every time they don't play, those ad dollar, you only get money. These networks get that money when the game happens that night and their ads get played that night. Like, it's not, a lot of people think it's based on, okay, ESPN paid the NCAA $8 billion for the college playoffs, and they just got it right then. It doesn't actually happen that way. The way it happens is that's the agreed upon amount that you're supposed to make over this given amount of time. But if your butt ain't on TV, you're not getting that paycheck. So this you can really get this the playoffs. You got the US Open supposed to come up. Last time I checked, Serena Williams is still the best tennis player in the world, even though she's my age. You got like the baseball thing. You got all these different If we get on code, which is what Tariq Nasheed talks about all the time, on code. If we get on code throughout this various sports and don't let that dollar circulate, watch what happens by this weekend. Just watch, and hopefully that will change things up. Because that's with these people, racist people. I'm not gonna say white people, racist people. You either got to hit them in the mouth or hit them in the pocket. That's the only way you go. You can't hit them in the heart. That doesn't work.
They don't got none. This is they evil, man. They're just evil people. And I've been saying this for a while. I've been like, hey, let's stop talking to them.
Wait. The evil racist people.
Yeah.
Because here's why I say that. We have to make that distinction because I'm super cool with a few white people, obviously acquaintances, people that I work with, that I've had extensive conversations with, so we can't broke the broad brush, but these ones that I know are racist or show those tendencies, I ain't fucking with you at all. I'm not trying to change you. You're the enemy. Is that clear cut? My bad, James.
And that's the thing, and this, I said it before and I'll say it again, I'm saying we need to start building our own infrastructure. $1 trillion. We're $1 trillion culture. That's more than any other culture. We spend money. You know what I'm saying? Now we gotta, what Big Mike said, wasn't it Killing Mike or Big Mike? We need to mobilize and strategize and move out. I said it before, kill them quietly. You know what I'm saying? If we start putting our own money and saying, hey, don't go to no more of these big time schools.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your HBCUs, because I don't care what nobody say. Those ad dollars, they're gonna go to where people are watching, because they trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? And then we take our money, and that's one way money is going into our community. Eventually we can say, hey, we don't need you no more. You don't like us, fine. You go do you. This is what you want. You go do you. We won't go to your stadiums. We won't go to your grocery stores. We got our own. We build our own hospitals. We take care of ourselves. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of resources. But you're right, Ken. Only thing that they care about is money. Money and power. And when they don't got it no more, it's either one or two things are gonna happen. They're gonna do what they did in Tulsa when we had the biggest economic infrastructure in America at the time, Black Wall Street, and they'll bomb it and slaughter us, and that's gonna kick off a war. Or they'll come kicking and screaming to play along and get rid of their parasite called racism. So I don't think it's gonna be the latter. I think they're gonna get mad because that's what they do and try to kill us. It's in their spirit.
Diddy, on to the political conversation now. Your boy Biden had his Democratic convention last week. What did you think about that before I give my opinion on that, before we get to the RNC? What did you think about the Democratic convention last week, Diddy? Now, for those of you who don't know, Diddy is a staunch Democrat. He's a member of the Boule. He is.
Oh, don't lie.
Woo-hoo.
No.
Hey.
He was I was about to crack jokes. He was the first light-skinned person on the Santa Maria with Christopher Columbus.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm joking. Go ahead, Diddy. Tell him what you thought about the DNC though.
I mean, it was good. Of course, it doesn't go all the way progressive.
Oh, so you see that as a problem finally. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's definitely it's a problem. But the only thing is you have to change the Senate also. They pass rules. They do the rules. So you have the Senate right now is moderate. It's very Republican right now. And there's a few moderate Republicans and a few Democrats. You need to have all, out of 100 senators, you need to have at least 60 progressive people in there to change the laws that Bernie and was going to do, like all health care for everybody, all kinds of stuff, you know.
Now,
Like,
I just saw a tweet that's pissing.
and minimum wage, $16 or something. You need to have all progressives in the Senate for that to pass.
I don't
All
understand
that stuff.
how much money we make. Like, why is it not?
I know it's crazy. That's just how it is. That's just how the Senate is made up, especially right now.
I know why it's not, but it's sickening, man.
Now, I just saw a tweet that's gonna piss me off from your cousin Diddy, Barack Obama. I commend the players on the Bucks. This is his tweet. I commend the players on the Bucks for standing up for what they believe in. Coaches like Doc Rivers in the NBA and WNBA for setting an example. It's going to take all of our institutions to stand up for our values. Now, what am I about to say, Diddy? Why am I so mad right now? Because I'm mad at that tweet.
I don't know what I mean.
I bet you James knows. James, why am I mad at that tweet?
It's not all our institutions.
And you didn't say none of that shit when you were president and when stuff was happening to us. You had one of the cops come to the White House and have a beer with you. But now you want to tweet out and support and all. Yeah, see, you didn't have any of that energy.
It ain't about all our institutions. It's about our people, man.
Thank you.
Come on, man.
And this is why I have a hard time with politics, Diddy, because everybody's got an agenda. And I understand that. In politics, it's got to work like that. If you're going to get voted in, it's like a, what do you call it? Not a talent show, but like Miss America, a beauty pageant. That's what politics is to me. Yeah. It's like a beauty pageant because you're really just going out there pretending everybody's showing how beautiful they are. They ask you questions. You're going to give the best answer you can, not from what you feel, but what you think the people are going to gravitate to. It's all for show. Behind closed doors, you're making side deals. You're paying lobbyists. You're bowing down to whoever gave you the most donations. Am I being cynical, Diddy, or am I being real?
Yeah, it's on both sides, though. It's not just Democrats. It's on Republicans.
Oh yeah, definitely. My bad. If I said just Democrats, it's definitely. I'm talking about all around. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's whoever talk the most junk is gonna win. You know.
And money.
Who's the third party running? Do we got a third party?
Not this time.
Kanye West.
You know what?
He's gonna get at least 2% of the vote though. In some states, he's on the ballot on some states.
He's not gonna get 2% of the vote. Why did he'll get 0.02? So why didn't Bernie run as a third party candidate? That's a good question.
No, because I talked to one of my homeboys today. He was like, "Man, we should all, as black people, man, vote for the independent." And I was like, "Who is the independent party?"
There's no independent. This would have been a good time to run.
Yep.
As an independent.
Also, the independents, they tend to take votes from the Democrats.
Which is why this was a good time to run, because I'm not fucking with either one of these Democrats, to be honest with you. I'm voting for them out of necessity, but if I had another option, I would have dang sure voted for Bernie, along with a whole lot of other people, not just black people.
And we need to go younger. This is the
Yes.
last wave. This is the last wave of 75 and up. Trump,
Yeah.
Bernie, Biden, Nancy Pelosi's 80. This is it. So next time we're going younger, more progressive. I think it might change.
We need more. We just
This is also a big election for the
Yeah.
Senate. For the
Now,
Senate, almost every state, at least half the states, a lot of these Republicans are in trouble. So we'll see if
good.
that flips a little bit. So
Sidebar, you young people out here, this is sidebar. This is how you know this dude is with the ops. This is how you know this dude is working with the police. 6ix9ine just announced a new album, Tattletales, will drop next week. What time is it now? It's 9:30, right? This tweet happened 5 hours ago at 4:30. When did the NBA announce that they were going to boycott these games? Around 4 o'clock, right?
yeah.
Y'all tell me this dude is not the ops. So he drops 30 minutes later. Come on.
What's his name?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. The name of the album is Tattletales.
Oh, I thought he was in jail or something.
He got out COVID shit.
Where you been, Diddy? Where you been? Diddy don't mess with the streets. Diddy, this dude got out 3-4 months ago? He got out early in the pandemic.
Yeah,
He dropped 2 singles. You didn't hear about them because they're trash as usual. But I don't think it's any coincidence that this NBA thing happened, and then 30 minutes later, he's announcing his album to distract us. Basically, is what it is.
That's all this is. This is a distraction, man. And
Hey y'all, I gotta head out. I gotta finish this stuff.
Go ahead, man. You got your job. Thanks for coming on, though, man. You did a great job. You got to come back with us, man, for real.
definitely,
All right, yeah, let me know next time.
been
Try to
fun.
fit it in. All right.
I know you. We know you got Sunday dinner at your parents' house. You're a good guy.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Crazy. All right.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, look how slick they trying to be, man. Dropping to for real. Come on,
You keep going, or you want me to pause it and then talk?
keep going. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I mean it is that dude's always been phony to me, man. I said, look, I worked in the intelligence community. When I heard that whole story, man, I said, nah, that dude, he ain't gonna get touched. That dude ain't what you think he is.
Because of the way he was going about it, being out in the streets and blah 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 blah, and talking all that big mess and
yeah, these people go through the whole system in the court system, man, and you would think that, oh, he's in trouble, man. That dude is probably FBI, CIA, some funky letter, man. I said that shit don't look right, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he a joke to me, man.
yep. But they're trying to use them.
Yeah, I mean,
So where do you think this thing is going, James? Where do you think? I mean, there's a lot of this thing seems to have a lot of, I did not expect I thought about major league players possibly sitting out. I didn't think whole teams were going to sit out, let alone 6 of them. Basketball, that's expected. Major leagues, I'm looking for soccer, which y'all gonna do. I'm looking for all these sports and other entities. Where do you think this thing's gonna go?
and we'll have this conversation off air. But I don't want to say it out in public. But it's just like when you're in the military and you're planning to deploy, right? And you're going into a hostile environment, right? So your senses are heightened. You got fear. You you're not walking into a vacation, right? The minute you get off that plane, that is game on. That's what it feels like right now. It's game on. You know what I mean? You saw the piece I just finished building, right? The weapon I got.
Mm-hmm.
And and my wife was like, how many do we need? I said, I want every one of you to have one in your hand. You know what I mean? Even my baby girl who's 8 years old. You know what I mean? Because I understand what happens when the bullets are firing. You know what I mean?
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to understand what to look for and what to do and how to maneuver and how to shoot. You know what I mean? Because my 8-year-old might save my life. She might have to pull that trigger on somebody, and I hate it for her, and I hate that it has to happen that way. And people will say, "Oh, that's crazy talk. That's not going to happen. Nothing's going to get there." I say, look at 2020, and nobody would have said that this would happen this year. This year would have been the way it is right now, right? So you have to look at it and say, who would have thought this white kid would just walk out in the middle of the street and start bucking people? You know what I mean? That is too much, too often, too repetitive.
In an already volatile situation with the pandemic and everything.
Exactly.
There's too much pressure on the pipes.
Yeah, exactly. And pressure bust pipes. And
It's too much pressure.
And it's gonna happen. And I hope I don't. I said I hope I just got some firearms and they just stay locked up and I don't got to use them. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And it's funny because we live a very direct life. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we need this, and that. We go straight to the store and back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I got so much stuff in my house to entertain my kids, man, because I ain't taking them to the aquarium. I ain't taking them to the zoo or to display or this art museum. I'm just not. I'm not going to expose my family right now to the elements of this world, knowing the way it is right now. So we hardly go anywhere totally as a family.
Which is sad but true.
But that's just the reality. White people don't live that way. I said, you don't understand the present, the gift it is to live your life carefree without no worries. There ain't no black cops gunning down white people. You know what I'm saying? So to have that freedom just to leave your house, like, oh, it's a beautiful day today, and not have that worry of, man, I hope ain't no cops in my way today. You know what I'm saying?
Now let's. I'm gonna take it to a place. Let's keep it real. Let's fire optics. Let's take it to a place. Now this is just a hunch, theory, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it. What if a higher power is testing us as a people to see if we're ready or not for what we need to do? Like, you would think.
This conversation.
Fire optics, peace.
Hey family, it's been real. We'll give you a synopsis of what we talked about. Hey, it's been real, family. To all the people that's down in Texas and Louisiana, man, please be safe.
Yeah, please, God no, take it seriously. Thank you for Diddy. Thank you for Frico. And like James said, man, if you're anywhere down there, don't mess around. There's a lot of stuff going around.
Yeah, please get inside before the storm comes. I saw some of the surge waters, man, it's dangerous. So
yeah, I saw that. Like all along the coast is like 20 to 24 feet in Louisiana somewhere, and then 12 to 14 feet in Alabama somewhere. So
I hope that people ain't stay there, but praying for y'all and be safe.
definitely.
Out.
Peace.